Okay.
Okay. So I'll repeat the question that is about the subject. You don't know how many pupils you have, but...
So, well, it came very naturally actually for us to put together a course and put it together rather quickly. It's because most of us have been involved in the whole of the development, both in the run-up to the collapse, during the collapse and the aftermath. And some of them were even involved in writing the report, the special investigation report written by the committee, put together by the parliament.
Yeah.
And also, so we were very close to the event. So and that also explains that here in Iceland, all the processes and all the kind of connections are both informal and they are even personal. So that explains this responsiveness that you very quickly take on new subject to reflect what is actually important to take on during these times. And you see, this is going to be 2012. The collapse was autumn 2008. So it is really important for us to address this issue here at the university, because the university has got the social responsibility to educate and to inform and to be able to take the events of the day and put them into both international context and also into a theoretical context in order to create learning, create knowledge about what actually took place here.
The people is smart.
Smart enough?
Is smart, is intelligent, and is able to participate in questions that before.
Yes.
What decide the government?
This is a very interesting question, and again, I'm going to give you a very analytic answer.
Yeah.
And for probably about 20 years now, this society has been turned into a very neoliberal society in which the emphasis has been on individualism. And you are responsible for your own life, for your own welfare. And markets should take care of most things. Government should be very, very, very small, only tiny, and should be kind of a laissez-faire, reactive type of government. And during these 20 years, you can see that the level of social responsibility, the sense of society, the sense of collectiveness has decreased. So people were maybe not that concerned and interested, definitely not very much in government, because if you have a neoliberal regime, government is not good. Government is seen to be the problem, not the solution. So it should be very small. And people working in the public administration, they were seen as, well, they are just working there because they are not able, they are not smart enough to be in the business, in the private sector. That's why they are there. But the government offices being a great training ground for lawyers, for business administration, for political scientists, economists. They went in there to work in the central bank and in the ministries and in the tax office, and they got trained in all the rules from the side. And as soon as they had become skilled enough, smart enough to know the rules, the banks bought them out, offered them higher salary. There was no way for government to compete with the banks, who had already become, in the end, 10 times bigger than the economy. So you are right. You need some level of education, some level of intellectual capacity to engage in government issues. And because many of those issues dealing with public interest, dealing with equity, dealing with how to balance the various very complex goals of government. I mean, fairness, equity, efficiency, and freedom. These are 4 different goals which are competing in a way. In dealing with this and learning about how to use the tools of government in order to approach these different goals, policy goals, it needs a certain level of intellectual exercise, intellectual capacity. So lucky enough, we have a school system in Iceland in which all the way up through university education, you have free access of education, and it's a similar education for all. There is no class division, we have comprehensive school, and people of less well-off parents, they are going into the same school as the children of well-off. So the school system has been very egalitarian, and the same can be said about the health care. Offering everyone equal access to education all the way up through the university level and health care, you offer equality of opportunity for all. And if you're interested, if you are, have the spirit to move on, and you really want to educate, you really want to move on, and you are inspired by complex issues of various kinds, you can do that in Iceland. For a commercial bank, the fundamental issue is this issue of trust. You have to be able to trust your commercial bank. Otherwise, you're not going to put money in the bank. And if you're not putting money in a bank to save up some money, you don't have the basis for a commercial bank to operate and serve the local economy and finance by lending to businesses and firms. That's how commercial banks operate, at the real local economy. When we talk about the investment banks, okay, if they fail, we should not bail them out at all. Just let them fail. What happened here and in other places as well is that the bankers, after a legislation that was abolished in the United States, the Glass-Steagall Act, the bankers were allowed to fuzz the boundaries between investment banking and commercial banking, meaning that they could stretch their fingers into the savings of ordinary savers, take that money and put it out onto the financial market to gamble with it like in a casino. And this is because of an extreme deregulation and with a serious effect for the general public, who's actually the people who need the banks to put money into, to save money for bad times and for their holidays, for their pension and so on. So this is the issue about investment bank and commercial banking.